when Elijah and Moses spiritually appeared before the disciples of Jesus. Many Jews believed that when Elijah came again, he would descend from heaven in the same manner as he had ascended to heaven. Just as there are Christians today who are resolutely looking to the sky, with the expectation that Jesus will come in the clouds, Jews of Jesus' day were looking up at the sky, anxiously awaiting the coming of Elijah. Nevertheless, before any news was heard about Elijah having come again to fulfill Malachi's prophecy, Jesus suddenly appeared and claimed to be the Messiah. It is no wonder that Jesus' appearance and proclamation stirred up all of Jerusalem in great confusion. Wherever Jesus' disciples went, they were bombarded with the question about Elijah. Who was supposed to come first? Lacking an adequate answer themselves, the disciples turned to Jesus, asking, "Then why do the scribes say that first Elijah must come?" Jesus replied that John the Baptist was the very Elijah whom the people were awaiting. Since the disciples already believed that Jesus was the Messiah, they willingly accepted his testimony that John the Baptist was Elijah. Yet how could others who did not know Jesus accept this controversial claim? Jesus himself expected that they would not readily believe it, and hence he said, "If you are willing to accept it, he is Elijah who is to come." What made it even more difficult for the Jewish people to believe in Jesus' proclamation was the earlier denial by John the Baptist. John had insisted he was not Elijah, and they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." 2.2 The direction the Jewish people would choose. Jesus made it plain that John the Baptist was the very Elijah whom the people were so anxiously awaiting, while on the contrary, John the Baptist himself flatly negated this claim. Whose words were the Jewish people to believe? This matter obviously depended on which of the two, Jesus or John, appeared more credible and respectable in the eyes of the people of that time. Let us examine how Jesus must have appeared to the Jewish people. Jesus was an uneducated young man who grew up in the poor and lowly home of a carpenter. This unknown young man suddenly appeared and called himself the Lord of the Sabbath, while apparently defiling the Sabbath, which pious Jews kept with utmost reverence. Jesus thus gained the reputation of one who wanted to abolish the law, which for the Jews was the basis of salvation. Therefore, the leaders of the Jewish community persecuted Jesus. Jesus was compelled to gather disciples from among simple fishermen, and to befriend tax collectors, prostitutes and sinners, with whom he would eat and drink. Even worse from the standpoint of the Jewish leaders,